Yo, it's your boy DC3 from Dctree-Nation.com, where we cover hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. Man, my boy DeMar DeRozan is definitely in the slump, and I think I know why. But before I jump into it, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, the first reason why I think DeMar DeRozan is in a slump is simple. He still misses Toronto. And that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, he may say differently, but it's obvious that he still misses Toronto. And not to the point where he wants to leave the Spurs. That's not what I'm saying. But he still has those feelings for the team. This Kawhi trade has taken a lot out of him. So it's kind of causing him to play for the wrong reasons. He's playing for revenge. I don't show Toronto that they shouldn't have traded me. I don't show them. And that only will get him so far. Think about it. His game has kind of tailed off ever since the Toronto game because, you know, all that emotion, all that anger towards the organization is what's driving him. And in an 82 game season, you're not going to be able to sustain that hate, that anger, because you're not playing the Toronto Raptors every game. So without that motivating factor, that's why he's slumping a little bit. Now, when he plays Toronto next week, it's going to come back. Trust me, it's going to come back. But he can't depend on that to, you know, oil the machine, so to speak. That's why he's slumping. Another reason why I think he's slumping is because he wasn't selected to the AllStar Game. And before you jump on me, just think about it. I'm not saying DeRozan is a selfish player. I'm not saying he's full of himself or anything like that. But think about it now. If you're used to being recognized year after year after year after year, and you're still in your prime, you're still playing the same game you always play, and for you not to get recognized suddenly, that has to take a toll mentally, at least a little bit. You know, from a mental perspective, it has to take a toll because this is a little discouraging because, you know, you're used to being recognized. You like going to the All-Star game. You like being an All-Star. You like having your name called. And this year, suddenly, your name is not called. So that ties back into the whole missing Toronto factor. So I think all these things are kind of weighing on him emotionally. He's saying all the right things, and I don't think he's a selfish player, but let's be realistic. We're all humans, and, you know, that's a human thing. You want to be recognized, and I think it's taking a toll on him that he's not being recognized. And the last reason why he's slumping is a tough one. It's because the Spurs are mediocre. The team is mediocre. Think about it now. The Spurs are struggling to make the playoffs. They're in the 7th seed. They can fall out of the seeding at any moment. And he's coming off of being #1 in the Eastern Conference. He's coming off at least being in the conversation. So he looks at Toronto. They're in the conversation. They're technically contenders because they have a shot at the finals. And the Spurs, the way it's looking, they don't have any shot at the finals. So it's hard to get motivated to play all these games, to go so hard because you go from contenders, even though Toronto hasn't really had great, you know, numbers in the playoffs, you go from being like one of the top teams to being on one of the lower tier teams, a team without identity, a team in transition, a team, you know, that can't play defense at all. So, I mean, the Spurs have a lot of issues that they have to iron out. So it's hard to stay motivated, you know, if you're DeMar DeRozan. So hopefully the Spurs can turn it around. DeRozan can turn it around, and they can make, you know, a push towards the playoffs. All right, guys, that's it for this one. For more information on hoops, check out the main page, Dctree-Nation.com. Like us on Facebook. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help a brother out. Peace.